Hello everyone and welcome back to Freedom Planet on Steam. I'm One Wild Sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be continuing onwards in Jade Creek Zone, one of my favorite stages in the entire game, and it's purely because of the aesthetics. Look how beautiful the stage looks. It's, oh my god. But yeah, we have, as you can see by here, we have a fire, well, we had a fire shield until we popped into the water here, but we have a fire shield that we can use to damage enemies, and we're introduced to a couple of brand new enemy types that are honestly a bit of a pain. This is where the game's difficulty is slowly going to start increasing, folks. This is where the game's going to start becoming a little bit more challenging, and if you're not very quick on your feet and not good at platforming, you're going to have a good, well, you're not gonna have a good time. Not gonna have a good time, I should say. So just be careful. Just be careful getting through the stage. Now there's big green mooks that shoots giant green blasts at you. Now the best way to take them out when you're playing as Lilac is simply to do the uppercuts move. You see me doing a specific combo of moves during the course of this game, which is basically an uppercut and then a downward kick. Using that combo will do a lot of damage to bosses, enemies, and it's just very useful, you know. I really recommend people using that whenever they get the chance, because the amount of damage you can pull off is insane. Dealing with those enemies whenever you are playing as Carol is also pretty easy as well, because you just hold down the special attack button and you'll just kick it into submission, you know. So yeah, that's simple. Although when you play as the other character, Mila, which is a character again I'm not really showing off for a long time, she has like this shield ability, so you can actually deflect the character's attacks back. And Mila is a character that's like a glass powerhouse, really, you know, a glass cannon. I don't want to talk too much about her though, like I said previously, for same reasons, so yeah, for now let's just continue on with the stage. Now whenever you're playing as a stage as Lilac, you need to make use of a lot of the Dragon Boost abilities. Loads of hidden paths you can go to, and this is one of the most varied stages in the game just because of how many pathways you can go. Like for example, these bubbles here, you can use these bubbles to take one pathway, or you could take another section entirely. You know, you can skip the bubbles and take your own route, and I like that, you know. But basically, using those bubbles, if you hold down the jump button when you're in a bubble, you'll jump higher and you can jump really, really far, you know. Of course, for swimming, I don't think I actually went over proper swimming mechanics, to be honest. Basically, hold down the jump button and you'll swim upwards, and let go and you'll swim down. It's as simple as that, really, you know. And the swimming, it's not like Mario Brothers or anything like that, where the swimming controls are really awkward. The swimming controls, they work, you know, they're very, very good. And there's not much swimming in this game at all, so there's no real difficult, you know, you're not gonna have issues swimming. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, we're getting chased by the fuzz, you know. As you can expect, we just escaped out of jail in the previous part, so that's basically what most of this level consists of, is get a kill fast and dodging all of the police vehicles and whatnot that are coming our way. We're also going to be bombarded on occasions by loads of tiny mooks that if you get hit by the explosion when they land, then they will do massive damage, you know. Got all these camouflage turrets that honestly don't do anything to me. I've never been hit by them. But yeah, these are the guys I was talking about. So, like, a good way to deal with them is simply run by and ignore them, but they do go down in like one hit if need be, you know. They're very weak enemies. They're very simple to take care of. So there's that. Although the big green dudes that I mentioned before that have the giant laser cannons, one thing I like about them is whenever you do defeat them, they just explode in a blaze of glory, and you just get a massive plethora of gems as a result, and it just gives you the idea of, oh my god, I'm doing such a good job, you know. I really do love this stage. Although this background button actually reminds me of a level from Sonic 2, a level that was taken out of the final version of Sonic 2 called Wood Zone, and it's only in that particular sequence where I get that vibe, I don't know. But yeah, considering we're on the run from the cops, we've got a lot of issues, you know. A lot of the time we'll have enemies like by here where the cop's gonna start chasing us, and it's time for the first mini boss of the stage. And this here is Neela. Now what Neela will do is she'll shoot sonic blades, you know, sonic booms at you. And what you need to basically do is jump over the sonic boom attack and hit her with your whip or whatever weapon or attack you have at the time. And simply, the best way to deal with it is wait for a second, then jump over the sonic boom, which will give you a chance to hurt her and damage her, you know? You can use your Dragon Boost for massive damage, but I don't recommend using that because it is pretty uncontrollable. And every time you do a good amount of damage on her, she'll enter a new phase where she'll do this spinning ice attack. And what will happen is ice will appear all across the floor. So what you're going to want to do is basically try and get yourself into a rhythm, and every time she does do the ice attack, sort of jump off the ground and it'll be easy enough to dodge. Honestly, I did take a lot of damage against her there, but take my word for it, she's really not that bad when you know how to take her on. Or just having a particularly bad fight, you know? Oh, the music's so good. You probably can't hear the music over the explosions and me talking, but seriously folks, this game, the soundtrack is just... You can actually buy the soundtrack for about $5 on Steam, and I really recommend buying this soundtrack. It's just to help the developers out, because the soundtrack is so good. I cannot stress that enough. The gameplay is so good. When I said this is one of my top 5 games of all time, this is one of my favorite games ever made. I'm not joking. I am dead serious. This game is just a genius. Now anyway, you'll also come across some of these enemies by here that have little glowy purple thingies surrounding their bodies. Whenever you see these goons, basically jump over the purple things because they will whittle down your health, or if you have damage, you know, or if you have a shield, they'll whittle down the shield a little bit. Just basically jump over the little spinny things they have and try and attack the main body, and they should die pretty simply, you know? And be careful, just look around whenever you're on top of this sort of ship by here, because what you'll find is... Where did my shield go? I could have sworn I just picked up a fire shield. No matter. Anyway, what you'll find is occasionally on this little submarine thing, I assume it's a submarine, could be just a giant boat, you'll come across health pickups, so just keep an eye out for them. Like right here, there's health pickup on both the high and low route. And I recommend going for them if you can, because you're probably going to take a lot of hits in the stage on your first run through, you know? Like, I'm taking a lot of hits in the stage, and I know what I'm doing, so... Trust me, it can be quite tricksy to get through. Although we are getting pretty close to the end of the stage, and one thing you might notice me using is like these dandelion flowers earlier on, and good going, cops. That's how you take down someone, by shooting your own. Well done. 10 out of 10. A for effort. Earlier on in the playthrough, you know, in this stage, you probably saw me grabbing onto these dandelion things, and you needed to make use of those to simply progress through the level. You know, you had to jump on them, time you jumped, so you jumped into the next one just fine, and it was easy enough to get through, but I figured I should talk about it anyway. But anyway, now we're getting to the end of the stage. You know, everything's going to become a lot more dramatic, and I just love the music. I'm sorry, I'm going to be gushing about this, but the soundtrack in this stage in particular is just one of my favorite songs in the whole game. It's so good. But anyway, now the way back here, like I said, we're pretty much on the last stretch of the stage. The music's going to start cutting out, and they really nailed the atmosphere of concerning what's happening, you know. They really nail a good atmosphere for the upcoming boss fights. And this upcoming boss fight is actually a preview for the finale. Actually, no, it's not a preview. What am I talking about? I'm talking out of my ass. Oh god, Serpent again. Right, so Serpent by here, you deal with him the exact same way as you fought him the very first time. The only difference is, I think he has a bit more health than he did last time. So, don't be an idiot and you'll get through just fine. I always have a tendency of jumping into that giant purple attack though. I don't know why. It's not that difficult to avoid, I'm just an idiot. But anyway, just keep at it. Eventually, he will go down, and you'll be able to get to the next phase of the boss, because this is a 2-phase boss fight. So after Serpent's dead, what will happen is... There we go. I believe it's you. Nope, he's just gonna mock me, okay. But anyway, Serpent's gonna get a giant mech to destroy us with, and he killed me. My Let's Play's ruined! But no, he's gonna get a giant mech to deal with us. And we're actually gonna have Mila and Carol helping us out yet again. It's one of the things I love about this game is that all our co-characters help us out. So we're not just doing these things on our own, you know, we have a team. And even if the team doesn't do anything damage-wise, because I don't think they actually do any damage officially, it's nice to have just a visual element to make it seem like the team aren't being useless, you know? I just love the way this game is. But anyway, this is how you're probably meant to take out Serpent properly. It's quite easy when you know what to do. Now we're introduced to a brand new type of mook. These here are the main goons of Brevon's army. These goons by here are the hardest normal mook in the game to fight, and they become normal, you know, they become everyday enemies later on down the line. And then as you can see, they take a lot of damage. So what I recommend is just jumping over him, maybe waiting for him to attack, and then attack him in the back. That's the best way to really clear him out. Now he gets in this giant helicopter ship that will shoot rockets at you. When he's shooting rockets at you, the best way to try and stay in there and continue hurting him, and he will shoot down giant blasts from the left and right side of his ship. The giant blast from the left and right side of the ship will cause giant shockwaves. Jump over said shockwaves and continue wailing on his cockpit with the Cyclone ability to take him out. It's not that hard a boss fight, but I can imagine people having issues if they can't get into a good rhythm, because that's all that matters, it gets into a good rhythm. By the way, you can't get the last hits. Yeah, Carol or Lilac, depending on which one you're playing as, will always get the last hit if they're not you, so there's that. All in all, a good stage.
What do we do? Lilac?
I don't know! I don't know.
Maybe we're not cut out for this. We should go home.
So that's it? We just leave and let Torque die?
What are we supposed to do? I like Torque, but this is so much bigger than us. We're just kids.
That doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything? Look at what they did to me! To us! Sometimes I feel like you're trying to get us killed.
How can you say that? I put myself out there on the front line so you don't have to!
Yeah, and I always have to bail you out.
What's the problem with that? We're helping each other do the right thing.
But I don't want to do the right thing! I just want to spend time with my best friend! If the only way I can do that is by risking my life, maybe we shouldn't be friends anymore.
Carol.
Don't! Just don't. I'm done.
It's okay. I'm going after him. Alone.
Let me come with you.
No. Carol's right. Friends shouldn't let each other get hurt. You should stay behind with her. Mila, stay here.
I won't leave you.
Stay!
She's gone. She actually went through with it? Big surprise. Are you mad at her? I'll get over it, I guess. But we're gonna do things my way now. What is this place? The red scarves are down here. They've still got all my ninja stuff. You are a ninja? Not really. I mean, it's a long story, so I'll tell you someday if you're good. Come on, let's show Miss Hero Pants how it's done.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this part of Green Planet. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. And when we return next time, we'll take on the Trap Hideout, which is my least favorite stage of the game, and it's probably the stage of the game where I'm going to start talking about the game's flaws. Because, like I said, this game isn't perfect. There are problems with it, and I do want to address them. So, thank you all for watching, people. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, and I'll catch you all then. Bye!